emergence of DeepSeek now putting pressure on the U.S. tech names.
It's super impressive. I think we should take the development out of China very, very seriously.
DeepSeek just taught us that the answer is less than people thought. You don't need as much cash as we once thought.
Can you imagine how annoying it is to see you build your house for $50 million and a guy next door builds the same house for $700,000? That's got to be frustrating.
It should be a wake-up call for our industries that we need to be laser-focused.
That necessity is the mother of invention.
OpenAI has just dropped a bombshell, claiming they have proof that China's DeepSeek copied their model to train its own AI. And if this turns out to be true, we're talking about a serious case of intellectual property theft, one that could shake up the entire AI industry.
It doesn't matter if it's a Chinese government psyop or not. The technological innovation of having an LLM train itself through reinforcement learning is impressive. The cost efficiency of doing inference with only 7 billion parameters rather than 700 billion parameters is impressive. The possibility of being able to do more model training and inferencing with less usage of power and less chips is impressive.
So what's the deal? How did DeepSeek allegedly pull this off? And what could this mean for OpenAI, DeepSeek, and AI innovation as a whole? What is OpenAI's claim? In simpler terms, OpenAI is saying, hey DeepSeek, you took our hard work, copied it, and used it to build your own AI. But how did OpenAI come to this conclusion? Well, one key piece of evidence is how DeepSeek's model sometimes refers to itself. When asked, who are you? DeepSeek's model would occasionally respond with, I'm a large language model developed by OpenAI. And that's like someone introducing themselves with your name. If DeepSeek's model was truly original, it should say, I'm developed by DeepSeek, but the fact that it sometimes says OpenAI suggests that it might have been trained on OpenAI's outputs. Model distillation. So, how could DeepSeek have copied OpenAI's tech? OpenAI hasn't revealed all the details of its evidence. The answer lies in a technique called model distillation.
Is there IP theft here? Did they steal some of what they were able to scale up here from us? And do we need to close the doors on what we're doing in terms of invention and technology?
Well, it's possible. There's a technique in AI called distillation, which you're going to hear a lot about, and it's when one model learns from another model. Effectively, what happens is that the student model asks the parent model a lot of questions, just like a human would learn. But AIs can do this, asking millions of questions, and they can essentially mimic the reasoning process that they learn from the parent model, and they can kind of suck the knowledge out of the parent model. And there's substantial evidence that what DeepSeek did here is they distilled the knowledge out of OpenAI's models. And I don't think OpenAI is very happy about this. And I think one of the things you're going to see over the next few months is our leading AI companies taking steps to try and prevent distillation. And so we'll see if the leading AI companies can prevent distillation by third-party companies. That would definitely slow down some of these copycat models.
So the student model distills the knowledge of the teacher model. OpenAI claims that DeepSeek used this technique to rapidly advance its AI capabilities. OpenAI's terms of service explicitly prohibit this. And if DeepSeek did this, it could be a serious breach of intellectual property. So, while OpenAI hasn't laid all its cards on the table, these points are at the heart of its allegations. But the question remains, can OpenAI prove it? And even if it can, what does this mean for the future of AI development? Let's dive deeper. DeepSeek's defense. DeepSeek has since updated its model to correctly identify itself as a DeepSeek product. But the question remains, did they copy OpenAI? Some argue that DeepSeek could have trained its model on publicly available data, which includes OpenAI's outputs. After all, OpenAI itself scraped vast amounts of data from the internet to train its models. So, is OpenAI being hypocritical?
DeepSeek is certainly an impressive model, but we believe we will continue to push the frontier and deliver great products. So we're happy to have another competitor. We've had many before, and I think it is in everyone's interest for us to push ahead and continue to lead. We have no plans to sue DeepSeek right now. We're going to just continue to build great products and lead the world with model capability, and I think that'll work out fine.
Did you have any evidence of the DeepSeek violating the term of service?
In evidence of what?
Violating the term of service.
The teams are looking into it, but it's not a top focus for me.
Others point out that even if DeepSeek used OpenAI's outputs, proving it in court would be incredibly difficult. AI models are complex, and tracing the exact source of their training data is like finding a needle in a haystack. What this means for AI. This controversy raises some serious questions about the future of AI development. First, there's the issue of intellectual property. How do we protect AI innovations while fostering healthy competition? Then comes transparency. Should companies be required to disclose how their models are trained? And finally, the big ethical dilemma. Is it fair for one company to use another's work to build a rival product? How good is DeepSeek? Despite the controversy, DeepSeek's model is no slouch. In independent benchmarks, like the LMS Chatbot Arena, DeepSeek's model is tied for first place with ChatGPT and Gemini. It's even outperforming some models in reasoning tasks.
To add to the efficiency is a process called distillation, basically using larger models to train smaller models in targeted domains. The result is equivalent performance with significantly less computing power. And this was the big shock for AI developers and financial markets, making chain-of-thought reasoning completely open and visible.
But even if DeepSeek did copy OpenAI, does that make its success less impressive? Or is it just a smart move in a highly competitive industry? The legal battle. Could OpenAI sue? OpenAI's terms of service clearly state that you can't use its outputs to develop competing models. If OpenAI can prove that DeepSeek violated these terms, it could sue for intellectual property theft. However, legal battles in the AI world are messy. Proving that DeepSeek copied OpenAI's outputs would require concrete evidence. The irony, OpenAI's own controversies. OpenAI is currently facing its own legal challenges over how it trained its models. Critics argue that OpenAI scraped data from the internet without proper credit or compensation. So, while OpenAI is accusing DeepSeek of copying, some are asking, isn't OpenAI doing the same thing? What's next? The OpenAI versus DeepSeek saga is far from over. Whether or not DeepSeek copied OpenAI, this controversy highlights the cutthroat nature of the AI industry. So, what do you think? Is DeepSeek guilty of copying OpenAI? Or is this just a case of sour grapes from a tech giant? Let me know in the comments below. And remember, in the world of AI, the truth is often stranger than fiction.